All right, good morning, Mr. Dayo Samuel. Okay, so Mr. Dayo, you're welcome. I'm sure the rest people are trying to join. But before then, let me just do a rundown of who Mr. Dayo Samuel is. Me and Mr. Dayo, we've known ourselves like it's going to like maybe 6-7 years now. So Mr. Dayo, all right, let me just read his profile. Amazing, wonderful profile. I know Mr. Dayo used to be a graphic artist. He was designing a lot of graphical work for me back in the days when I was still doing Youth Engage on Twitter. So here's his profile. After becoming a certified life coach and practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming (NLP) in 2016-2017, Dayo began to ask those questions. Yeah. Does this mean that the only way to carry out intervention for clients using this tool is to have physical contact with them? The profile is quite long. Probably I'll just share as more people are trying to join. Let me just, he's the lead consultant with Audacity to Lead. And Mr. Dayo has done quite a lot of work in helping people find clarity, in helping people find, understand their call, their mission to life. And when we started planning this whole mentorship thing, few people came to my mind. He's one of those people who I know that I can bring on over and over again, because I know that he has so much that he can use to help a lot of us shape those ideas from where you are to where you're supposed to be. He's one guy who does a lot of research. He does a lot of studying. His level of depth is mind-blowing for me. Secretly I learn from him, but he does not know. So I see a lot of stuff on his WhatsApp stats, so I'll be like, wow, this guy. Mr. Dayo is happily married to Fisayo, her beautiful woman, and they have a baby. So he's a father of one. Together with his wife, they are making the world a better place to live in through a modern family lifestyle. And from him hanging out on social media, from him, for him, so they are really modeling marriage and all. So every aspect of his life, I think, is something that me personally am endeared to because of the kind of person he is, because of his personality. So I bring to you today Dayo Samuel. He's going to be sharing with us on how to build system. He's one guy who has done a lot of systemic work. Like, if there's something I know he's very good at, this is one of those things. So I am proud and I'm happy to be bringing you guys Mr. Dayo Samuel, who is going to be taking us through on building systems for business. So I want to welcome everybody. Welcome, Madam Jacqueline. Thank you for joining. I think some people are going on and off, maybe their network or something. So Dayo, if you're ready for us, we are ready for you. Dayo, are you ready? Mr. Dayo. That is also going on and off. Nigerian network has started while I don't do. A lot of people have shown interest, have admitted, and the next minute they are going off again. So, all right. So before then, let's have a conversation. How have you guys been? Helen, what's been going on with you, your idea, your business? What's up? Madam Jacqueline, can we have like a review? What have you guys been doing since after Passion to Profit? There's somebody who has really impressed me, I must say, and that's Elizabeth, 07 Food. She sent me the receipt of the things she bought with the money that was given to her, and showed me what she bought, and I find that quite interesting because, of course, we are not pursuing anybody, but I like when people try to do that. It shows integrity, it shows sincerity, and then I know. Welcome, Dayo. It's good to see you.
Thank you very much. My apologies, please, for the network. I don't know
Yeah.
what's happening. Maybe Petranet woke up to a bad system today. I don't know.
I can imagine. All right. So I've done a preview of who Dayo is. Tell them how amazing you are, and you are the right person for this job, for this session. So we are going to be starting off like immediately. As many people want to join, I'll be admitting them while we continue. I don't know if you'd like to share your screen. I don't know if you have any plans for that.
All right. So I will share my screen. That's fine. I can share my screen. That's fine. So that's totally fine. Oh, Lord. All right. So good morning, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the part of the world that you are in. Since it's this digital age, a lot of greetings don't no longer function well, because if you tell somebody good morning and the person look around, it's like, sorry, it's night here. All right, welcome everybody. It's good to be with you again, and I must say thank you very much to my dear Paddy Kachi. Just as you mentioned earlier on that, we've known each other for close to 6 years. In fact, I think it was even before I started Audacity to Lead that I had known you. And, and even after starting Audacity to Lead, it's been quite an interesting journey, all the way from the days of doing stuff on Twitter those days.
Yeah.
All of us now left Twitter and realized that if we
Twitter
stay
was
on
now,
social
Twitter
media,
now
we are not
became
building
mad.
business. That nobody's really building any business staying on Twitter.
Yeah.
We are just making noise. It's good to be here again. Thank you very, very much for having me. And everybody that is here this morning, thank you very much for joining in. I must say congratulations to you for having made it this far. I was in this session some weeks back, and that was when selection was in place. And I remember having to put people through some selection processes based on my own parameters of what it means to actually keep a business running and to channel funds to the right place. And interestingly, that was 8th of July 2020. This is it in my note here. Very interesting. And I'm just speaking, I just forgot to remember that. Wait, I actually wrote it down. So that day I remember writing down quite a number of names. Anu, Damlola, Chineye, Gemma, Solomon, Grace, Adesola, Chinto, Atinike, Stella, Zina, Ruth, Rose, Gemma, Lucy, Damlola. The name just keeps going on. I just kept writing names and writing things down that I saw from what a lot of people were mentioning, a lot of things that people were saying. And I'm glad that we're having this session because my parameter then was based on some of the things that I'm going to be sharing with you today. In my own experience, I have learned that what really lets a business prosper, makes a business grow, is really not the idea that the owner of the business has. It comes down to the systems the business owner actually puts in place. And when we talk about system, a lot of times people think that systems is computer, systems is social media, that systems is getting a lot of equipment and all that. So let me give you a little example. Let's say you buy, and I hope my audio is clear. Let me even check.
Yeah,
I hope
it
my audio is
is.
clear.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So let's say you get to buy, let's say you start up an agriculture farm, Now, that agriculture farm is a business on its own, and you will actually do well with that agriculture farm. What, depending on the products that you sell, you will really, really do well. However, the question that I usually ask is, when you are not available to do anything in that business, what is going to happen to that business? Does that mean that the business will not be able to run? Does that mean that the business will not be able to function? Does that mean that everything is now gone because you are not available? That's a question that I also began to ask when I began to pay attention to systems. And I remember last year when I decided it's time for me to actually split companies because I was modeling a lot of things up and I began to experience a lot of systems challenge. This, I think 2 days ago, I actually sent a mail to somebody that we're just employing to come handle something for one of our companies. Now, when we talk about system, I need to actually explain what system is. So if I share my screen here, let me just share my screen here and then kind of write something on the screen for you. So I hope everybody can hear me and I hope everybody can see my screen. If you can, please just let me know right here. Can everybody see my screen? Can everybody see?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
we can.
So the word system, because we are building a business system, I would like you to look at this is this. This is something that my mentor taught me back then when I was in Makurdi. I was living in Makurdi then. And my mentor one day said that if you want to actually build a business that will go beyond you, you will need to set up systems. And in order to set up system, it means system basically saves you stress, time, energy, and money. So if you are stressed in your business, it comes down to the systems you are running your business on. If you tend to not have time for other things, that is, you are so married to your business that something else does not have your time. So maybe you are even married, you don't have time for family, you don't have time for anything. So for example, my wife came to lock this door just now. That's because my baby is trying to come and meet me here. She didn't want me to come here this morning. If you are strapped for time and you're always saying that I don't have time for any other thing, yeah, it's just my business, it comes down to the system you have in place. If you tend to be zapped of energy, that is, your energy is sapped, you don't even have strength to carry out some things, it comes down to the system your business is running. And then if you tend to be losing money or just spending money back to back, and there seems to be no return on the money that you're spending, that's also come down to the systems you have put in place. And just to give a little bit more clarity here, let me show you something that I refer to as something that I call systems intelligence for beginners. Now, if you look at UAC Foods, for example, and when I say UAC Foods, I'm referring to the company that produces quite a number of products that many of us probably already know today. If you look at it, what you find with them is something related to this. You find that as way back as 1879, when UAC first started off in Nigeria, they began to put together things that we're going to, of course, when they started as Royal Nigeria Company. And at a point, they acquired a couple of other businesses together. This was even before Nigeria became independent. Now, the question I've always asked is, if UAC or Royal Nigeria RNC or when it was even called the United African Company, when it initially took on the name United African Company, way back 1870 something when it started, up to this 2020, do you think it is the people inside the company that has let that business last till now? Or do you think it is something they set up that they only needed to plug people into those things that is making the business continue from that time till now? In fact, if you look at Guinness, for example, I once heard a story of Guinness, and he said that the guy who started Guinness, when he was going to get the place where he was going to use for land, one of the things he did was to go to approach the people who had the land, say that, can he buy the land? They said no, they can't sell the land. And he begged that issue that he wants to buy the land. They didn't sell the land to him. So he said, okay, it's all right. Can I lend? Can you borrow me the land? And they said, for how long? And he said, for 200 years. Now, the question is this. The guy himself cannot live up to 200 years. But he probably already know that he was going to build something that was going to last beyond him, as at that time. So he rented the land for 200 years. How many of you know that Guinness, so far, the Guinness that you see in Nigeria here today, has kind of lasted as long as possible? And when I say Guinness in Nigeria here, I'm referring to Guinness globally. It has kind of lasted way beyond just the fact that it was started by somebody. So the question becomes, what plans are you putting in place so that your own business can run, number one, independent of you, number two, that your business can last beyond you? This is something that a lot of us don't do. And I have personally been there before. And when I say personally been there before, let me give you a little story. So when the story that me and Kachi just shared just now, one of the things that I found back then was the fact that when we started off on social media, it was, I wanted to build a social media profile. I wanted to build a big profile on social media. That was my goal. So I think that should be about 3 years ago when I was in somebody's class, and I'm kind of breaking down that story. I think it was about 3 years ago when I was in somebody's class. I was taking an online course, and the guy said that one day he went to the bank, and he said he went to the bank, he carried his phone with him, he carried a bag, and he went to the bank, got to the bank, and he said he wanted to deposit something. So the cashier, since he was carrying a bag and the way he was dressed, they treated him nicely. Of course, they were expecting him to kind of come and deposit like maybe $20 million. So the guy got to the cashier, and the person said I should bring what he wants to deposit. So the guy brought out his phone, and on his phone was opened a Facebook page with 10,000 likes. So he said he wants to deposit that 10,000 likes. And the lady looked at him like, really? You want to deposit 10,000 likes? She said, I'm sorry, we don't accept that here. We only transact money here. So he said, do you mean I can't deposit these 10,000 likes? I think it was even way above 10,000 likes. I think it was maybe 100,000 likes, something like that. So he said, so you mean I can't deposit these 100,000 likes inside my bank account? The lady said, no, that we don't accept that here. So he turned and told us in that class then, he said, if you live to build your entire business on social media, saying that social media is what you want to build, it may never turn to anything in your bank account. And since 3 years ago, the lesson has stuck with me. I can't forget that lesson instantly. In fact, I've kind of told the story in several ways to several people to help them understand that you can use social media to power your business, but social media itself is not the system that runs a business. Do you get what I've just explained now? So you say that the way you get people to come do business with you is social media. Very, very valid. But social media itself is not your business. Social media is somebody's business. And so when you use social media, you are basically renting land on other people's, renting space on other people's land. It's not yours. It doesn't belong to you. And if tomorrow something happens and they take down your page, it means that your entire business is gone. It means that everything that you think you've been building is gone. Now, having said that, what can you do when it comes to building system, when it comes to setting up a business system for your own business? So here is something I learned as well. And this particular awareness, this particular knowledge has helped me quite a lot. And I want to share it with you. I think I must have, first of all, seen it in maybe Malcolm Gladwell's book, He Myth or so. And it is the fact that every business comes down to these three things. So when we say this is a business, what you need to understand is whatever it is you do as that is your business, whatever it is you do can basically be broken down into three things. So if you look at your business, there's a technical side of your business. And technical does not mean the part that is using computer. Technical basically means the part that actually this is the real work of your business. So for example, Kachi mentioned that I have always been a graphic designer. And when I say graphic design, I actually studied graphic design in school. So I went to the university to study graphic design. So it showed that you know that that's a technical work, okay? So if it is graphic design that you do, graphic design or whatever business that you do, most likely will be a technical work. So please, if you can you please, one after the other, please unmute yourself and then tell me what you do in your business. So let's start with Afolabi Toyin. What do you do in your business? What's your business about?
Mine is fashion design.
Okay, fashion
I'm a fashion
design.
designer.
Okay, so let's put this one here, fashion design. So that means you sober.
Yes.
Okay, Femi Daniels, please. How about you? And that Femi Daniel just reminded me of two people. One is the former governor of Ogun State. Second is, and second is a friend of mine in Makurdi. His name is Femi Daniel. So anytime we see him, we used to call it Otumba. The guy would have been really proud. So we're now telling him pride goes before a fall. So Femi Daniel, what do you do?
I'm into IT and trading as well.
By trading, do you mean Forex?
Yes.
Okay, so Forex/IT. Thank you. Erica Wealth. Erica Wealth, what does your name look like? Erica that was evicted from Big Brother. Oh. Hello, Erica. This is Big Brother. What do you do in your business?
Good morning. I'm a crocheter.
You are what?
I'm a crocheter.
I didn't get that.
Crochet. She makes crochet.
Crochet. I hope I'm able to spell it correctly. I think this should be TC. Am I correct?
There's no T before the T.
Since I've already written it, I'll leave it there. But I hope I'm correct. I hope that's what you meant.
Yes, that's it.
Okay, great. So Fortune, do you mind telling me what do you do in your business?
Okay, I am building a digital platform for community engagement, like a tech space.
Okay, let me write tech space, building a digital platform. And then Helen, do you mind letting me know what you do in business? What's your business about? Okay, while we're waiting for Helen, Jacqueline, do you mind? And then Zainab, Sunny, do you mind as well?
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
I produce tiger nut drink.
You produce tiger nut drink. Is that what I heard?
Yes, please.
Okay, that's Jacqueline. Okay. Tiger nut drink.
And I sell Zainab here. I sell ready-made children's wear.
Okay, children's wear. My writing is finer than this, so it's because it's on the digital. That's why it's not clean up. So in case you want to jab me. All right, thank you very much, everyone. So when we look at all of these businesses, when we look at all of these businesses, one after the other, what you may want to observe is that for each of these businesses, there is a technical side to all of this business. And fashion design, sewing, for example, is a technical work. And when I say technical work, it means that is the core activity of that business. So in Forex or IT, trading is the core activity. That is a technical part. In crocheting, if you are knitting, doing all those things, that side is the technical aspect of that business. Now, if you're building a community, perhaps you are coding, you are putting together, maybe you're even building apps, maybe you're using Flutter or using Dart or whatever it is you are using, you are doing a technical work. For the person making Tiger Not to Drink, Zainab and Helen, children's wear, if you are, so let's say you are not even making the children's wear, let's say you are just doing importing, you are just importing them. The process of somebody doing them is the technical part. So your own part may not necessarily be the technical part if you are just selling them rather than making them. But if you are making them, as long as you are doing the actual activity of ensuring that the product is ready, that is a technical work. And you know the interesting thing, many of us who start businesses, we are basically technical people. We know how to do our jobs, but we don't know how to run the business of our job. Do you get what I'm explaining here? So we know the technical side of our work very, very well. However, we do not completely understand how to do the business side of our work. And the business side is basically handled by a different role in the business, which is called entrepreneur. Now, this entrepreneur is what most of us who start this technical business, that is what most of us think we are. And I was like that myself when I started Audacity to Lead. Audacity to Lead started off as a knowledge-based organization from the beginning till now. But as Audacity to Lead kept going, I was basically doing more of the work of teaching, training, coaching. Those were the kind of basic work I was doing. But in the back end, people were engaging me to do designs. Some were engaging me to do website design. Some were engaging me to do book design. Some were engaging me to create flyers for them. Some were engaging me to actually do a complete branding for their company. And I was doing that in the background. I never added it as a service to what I was doing. But one day I decided to, okay, officially add it. All those things, all those designs, whether web design. Of course, at one point, I was also helping people start podcasts. So podcast was basically what a lot of people, in fact, most people who know me today, they know me for podcasts. Podcast now became part of what I also added. So after I've added design, I also added podcast as what I was doing. Now, the interesting thing is that when people want to do that podcast, so let's say somebody says, okay, I want you to work with me one-on-one so that I can launch my podcast. At that point, I switch from the technical guy to maybe helping that person so that the person can handle the technical part on him, on his own or as our own, so that I don't get to do that. But sometimes some people will tell me that they want me to, they will just be recording and I'll be doing all the productions. At that point, I switch from the entrepreneur to the technical part again. So I began to notice that all of these were kind of bogging me down. And you know the interesting thing, because I am buried in the technical side, the entrepreneur, what does the entrepreneur do? Majorly, the entrepreneur goes out to bring money in. It is the entrepreneur that ensures that no matter what happens in this business, we have to be profitable. And this is the reason why we started this business anyway. This is the reason why I started this business anyway. So this entrepreneur here, sometimes the entrepreneur is the one that will go on social media, is the one that will go and do marketing, is the one that will go out to do publicity. All of these are roles of the entrepreneur. Do you get it now? Now, sometimes a business may not need more than 3, 4, 5 persons in order to thrive. And if you understand what I'm explaining here, you will see that sometimes all you just need, you just basically be a few people so that you can focus on what you really know how to do best.